So in my community tab, I asked people for hard questions. And somebody asked, okay, I understand what the micro view is, like all the tragedy that's happening in Ukraine right now. I can wrap my mind around this. What's the macro view? Like expand the lens. What what happens if Ukraine wins? What happens if Ukraine loses? How does it affect geopolitical kinds of stuff? So the answer to that is this is why I got into doing this to begin with, because I was looking at the macro rather than the micro. Like what's going on day to day is not the same thing as the macro. So when I was looking at that, I was thinking, okay, what happens if Ukraine loses and Russia is allowed to win? If Russia's allowed to win, it overturns the international order. It's a dictatorship or an authoritarian regime. It's technically not a dictatorship, but an authoritarian regime that is just running over its neighbor because it can, and the rest of the world's not doing anything about it. And if that happens, what signal does that send to other authoritarian nations that might want to do the same thing? Furthermore, Ukraine gave away its nuclear weapons. And the message here is if you don't want this to happen to you, have nuclear weapons so it's going to add to the proliferation of nuclear weapons. Now, on the other side, if Russia loses and Ukraine wins, then it sends a message that is dampening that kind of thing for would-be dictators, authoritarians, that sort of thing. So there's a profound what's the word I'm looking for? There's a profound lesson here whether Ukraine wins or whether Ukraine loses. And we need to make sure that Ukraine wins because the lesson that will be taught if Ukraine loses will be absolutely terrible. Okay, that was a great question. Thank you for the time and thank you for being the kind of person that cares about